This the Uber load board. I'm down here in South Georgia. I'm looking on the board just to see what's available out there. And these load boards, majority of them are similar. You can't just get one load board and think you're gonna pull all your loads off that one load board. Because sometimes you're gonna get to an area and the loads in that area on that load board are not good. So you might have to check another load board, see what's on there. And sometimes you'll see the same load on different load boards and they're paying different rate. So it's always good to check more than one load board when you're looking for a load. On this right here, where I'm at, this first load is too much deadhead miles on that load. That's 221 deadhead miles. I will go back north to Atlanta to get that load to go south down to Orlando. The rate on that load is $2.50 per mile. And these are all dry van rates. Now, you know, coming out of Florida, you're not going to have to come out for just fuel money or just deadhead back to Savannah or deadhead over to down there exit 2 off 75 in that area right there. And this beverage, so that's heavy. It's only going 432 miles. It's paying $2.50 per mile. So some of these loads are $1.49 a mile, $1.47, $1.63. This load at $1.09 a mile, and people still hauling them. Ravenel, South Carolina, going to Tampa, that's $2.30 per mile. But where I'm sitting at, that's too much deadhead. So from where I'm at, there's nothing worth hauling on the Uber board right now. Albany, Georgia, going to Sunrise, Florida. That's 79 empty miles. If it wasn't going to Florida, maybe I would consider this load right here, because the weight on it is only 18,000 pounds. 503 miles, $2.21 per mile. And then down at the bottom, if they have reloads coming out the area you're going to deliver in, you'll have the reloads down here where it's a reload. But there's an Uber board. Just like, if anyone asks me about the Uber board, I tell them it's just like all the other boards. It's a hit and miss. Sometimes you're going to get something good, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you see loads up here paying $3 plus a mile, $4 plus a mile. They are either short runs or late in the afternoon when they have a load that they need to pick up. So they'll bring the price up on it just to get it moved. The Rock, Georgia to Nashville, Tennessee, 322 miles, but the weight on it is showing 45,000 pounds. But a lot of times what you could do is call the shipper and see exactly what's the weight on that load. Because sometimes they put 45,000 pounds and that's not how much you weigh. They just put that up there saying that's the max that they ship. So if you're okay pulling 45,000 pounds, you could book the load, because maybe it's less than that. All these loads paying $1 something, they're not worth it. The load should be paying more than that. Okay, you have this one load going 76 miles, that's paying $270. That load should be paying more than that. Even though it's only going 76 miles. But it's the time that you're going to spend on that load. And these loads are all live load and live unload. You have this one load coming out of Tampa going to Louisville, Texas. And that load paying 88 cents per mile. Sometimes you have to wonder who hauling these loads. Now on these 400-mile run, for example this one right here, 400 miles at $1,030. From a quarter tank, you could fill up for about roughly $430. You could fill up from a quarter tank. So that'll leave you with about $600. So now if you fill up, you could run 2 400-mile run off that one fill up. So if you get 2 load like this at $1,030, that's $2,060. You burn $400 fuel from $2,000. That leave you with $1,600 of 800 miles. So average out to about $2 a mile. And that all depends on how much deadhead you have to get to that load. So the shorter miles pay a higher rate per mile. A lot of times the longer miles gonna be about $1.90, $1.80 a mile. So the Uber board is a hit and miss. It's not something that you're going to get and say, I'm going to run all my loads off the Uber board. That's not the way to do it. You got to use Uber, use that internet truck stop. If you have access to JB Hunt load board, you have access to Landstar load board. That way you're not stuck to one board and then you gotta be taking the cheap runs because it's no run that worth it coming out of the area that you're in. I'm looking up what's coming out close to Columbus, Ohio. We have one load coming out of Toronto, Ohio. That's about 150 miles deadhead. Going to Verona, Virginia. $2.95 a mile on 274 miles. See, all these longer runs only paying $1.93 per mile. Now this load from Findlay, Ohio, going to Wells, Maine, 839 miles at $2.86 per mile. Going up to Maine, you might run into a lot of tolls, and you might be able to bypass some of the tolls. So it depends on how you get up there. $2.86 a mile, $2.86, and see, they have a lot of them going up there. That's what, four loads going up there. So in a situation like this, if it's something you're interested in, even if you can't haul these, you could still call the customer and see how often they ship them. You have 305 miles at $1,060. Now that's $3.48 a mile. 92 miles deadhead. So that's 397 miles total with your deadhead and your loaded miles. The weight is 25,000 pounds. And you have 15 loads coming out of the area. And these are your reloads from the area. Same thing. Some of them, the rate, especially on this one, going down to Farmingdale, New York, that's $3.27 per mile. So you'll be going in there. You'll be going in there with this load. That's paying $3.48 per mile. And then you're coming out with this one, paying $3.27 per mile. So that's how you use the Uber board. But like I said, it's not a board that you just use it by itself. You gotta use all the other boards. And this dry food. So it might be going to a customer with lumper.